demand management or leakage management, which basically will free up water. The water will be safe if we reduce our leakage rate. This water we don't have to supply for people. So it's basically also a water resource we can tap in our city. And then finally, we can also think about different qualities of water we're using for different purposes. Not for every purpose we have in an urban setting, we need the same quality of water. We don't need drinking water standards for everything. So we can basically use water in a cascading way. We can first use it in a household, then use it maybe later for irrigation purposes. We can use different grades of water, for example, grey water, meaning water not except for water we have from the toilet. It's much less polluted, we can more easily treat it, we can use it as plain water. So there are a lot of opportunities we can explore with this more integrated perspective. So we say we get a whole bunch of options, not only our conventional water options, but they have an integrated look on it. But yes, okay, let's frame it a little bit more systematically as a framework. This is basically a diagram from source to sink, where we see the different parts. And now if you look integrated way, we see we can include the rainwater cycle. We can look how can we use wastewater in different ways. Grey water we use, we can look wastewater treatment we use. So we can explore a little bit more systematic cycle. And as far as I understand, you are from hydroinformatics, at least a part of you from the hydroinformatics class. So what we are doing here with this integrated perspective, it's not only a framework, it's also something which is backed up by models. UBQ, city water balance, there are some models which try to help us with this integrated. These models basically all based on this that we have these different parts of the urban water cycle. Now also we look on the different water streams, different qualities going in and out. This is basically our unit plot the models are built on. It's a kind of nested model. We take this unit plot and then we take them to combine them to clusters which similar uses in these clusters. We then with all of these clusters we basically build them into catchments. And what are these models doing? It's just basically mass balance models. They're just looking flows in and out. This is basically what this means. So they're not complicated models, but they really help you really explore more systematically what is it what we can do with integrated water management. To show you an idea what we can do with it, I show you one example we have done for the World Bank. It's a project we were invited to Nairobi. Nairobi, quick growing city in the next around 20 years, the population will double. And they are already facing a water shortage now. So they are really in the challenge what to do. How do you provide enough water for the people in the future? And what they do at the moment, when we come in, they have already conventional ideas for how they would like to do it. The conventional way would be basically, yeah, you have they have basically their conventional water resources, and they want to try to tap additional conventional water resources. They basically want to go further and further away to tap this river, to the reservoir here, look a little bit from groundwater. We try to explore what it is there. And this is what they momentarily propose. Go further away, tap water of different provinces, and get it to Nairobi. We said, okay, wait a minute. Let's have a look, what can we really do? And this is how it would look like. So it would look like we would have our existing water resources, and then this will be the medium demand in the future, the predicted medium demand in the future. This is the minimum demand, this is the maximum demand, and we see well, somehow with conventional resources we can achieve our medium demand in the future. But if our predictions are wrong and they are on the higher edge of the demand curve, we can't fulfill this demand. We don't have enough conventional water resources which we can tap at the moment that we really confirm that they high demand. We can do it maybe, but it's a little bit tough. So we say, what can we do if we more explore more integrated perspective? What can we do then? So we can, of course, tap still conventional sources, but we can also think about rainwater harvesting. We can think about demand management, leakage management, saving water, so then don't have to provide to the people. What we can do this, and we can also fulfill our medium demand, but we can do it with less cost than the conventional system. So if you compare it, see, we have here this is how it would look like then. We again have the water sources, and this would be medium demand we can fulfill with quite cheap water resources. But even if we have to go to higher demand, we still have enough water resources. We can tap in other water resources. If it would be possible for us to whatever it will turn out in the future. We don't know at the moment to fulfill the whole range of water demand. So how would it look like if you just compare it? The conventional idea, what they proposed at the moment, is say, okay, let's tap new resources to end up with unit costs around 36 cents per cubic meter. But what we proposed is a much more diverse portfolio. This also provides us a lot of security. We are not only relying on certain kind of water resources, we rely on much greater portfolio of water resources, which gives us a certain kind of security. If we have a drought conditions, gray water, there's still resources will help us to extend of here with this stuff, and we can do it with a cheaper price. This is basically what we now propose for the people in Nairobi. They are still in the discussion process, so we will see how they will take it up. But this is basically really something proposed. This is also something we published together with the other people from the work that we were starting with, saying, how can really the future of water management look like in Africa? And I think these are the ways how it will more look like than just thinking conventional chapters. If it makes sense, if the math is not outright, also try something else. But it's not something which is only the pipe dream, which some fancy study from the academics. It's actually also examples you see around where they're actually doing it. Singapore is a classical example. They originally were mainly relying on the imported water from Malaysia. But because there are certain tensions between Singapore and Malaysia, there was this question, they don't want to only rely on the water from Malaysia. What is it if it's cut off? So they really go through the process to diversify the water resources. They do a lot of rainwater harvesting. Basically, the most water which is now, the most runoff in Singapore is collected nowadays in reservoirs, so they build their own water resources. They go for desalination. And what they also do, they recycle wastewater, what they call new water now. They really recycle the wastewater, treated drinking water country standards, and feed it again into land. You see, this kind of diversification of water resources is also something they do. And what they call then is they call it the four national taps from imported water, desalination, new water, the rainwater lake. This is the four national taps. So basically, the first take-home messages I want to give you is if you look at water nowadays, that's really fantastic. But it's not only about water if you look integrated. Let's also look a little bit broader. What is about energy and other nutrients? So if we now really look at it nowadays, we still have to think in these conventional categories: water treatment, wastewater treatment, solid waste management. We still have to think in these conventional categories, and we believe it's not necessary. Nowadays, our treatment technologies are so good that we can really think about something what we call a water machine. It's basically, remember, a machine where you can feed in different qualities of water, from conventional water sources, rainwater, and even wastewater, which can produce different qualities of water, not only drinking water, but also reclaimed water, like surface water. But it doesn't stop with the water. Think about a machine which can recover energy out of this water. It will recover biogas, it will recover heat, it maybe even recover cooling energy out of it, and also can recover nutrients out of the water. So we can recover nutrients which are contained. And this whole thing, so maybe we end up with a machine which is basically an energy machine, but then backside also produces water. This is what could be possible nowadays with the treatment technologies. And this is also something where there are a lot of concepts around. This is from a colleague from us who work closely together in the International Water Association. They have something, the City of the Future program, very closely connected with them. And they make a calculation for a new settlement in China, but then basically you see they can collect different qualities of water. They feed in conventional water, and then they collect black water, they collect gray water. They recover from the gray water, they recover heat. From the black water, they recover biogas. They recover energy out of the